think that should be going. Not sure. You can never tell. There's always such a delay on these things. But still, we will find out. So, today is... What day is it? Saturday the 22nd... Saturday 22nd December 2018. Oh my gosh. There are only 2 days left until Christmas, technically, sort of. I know it's 3 days because it's the 22nd, 23rd, but the 25th is the Christmas day. So realistically, for any preparations now, we've got 2 days left. Does that fill you with terror? It fills me with terror. Well, kind of doesn't, because I actually don't really care much this year. It's been a bit of an odd year. Actually, it's been an odd year all round. Being in the UK, this year's been absolutely mental because of all the Brexit stuff which has gone on, which obviously I would imagine pretty much everybody around the world at some point has probably heard about it. We are kind of constantly being browbeaten by all sides. It's just a terrible year for everything. But we've had some good stuff this year, such as, what have we had good this year? The Ryzen 3 2200G, that was this year I think, that was pretty good. We've had some new Athlon processors recently, the 200G and the soon coming 220G and the 230G and the 240G I think it is, or is it 56, I don't know. Basically we've got some new Athlons coming out which are slightly faster and about £10 dearer, which is a good thing. It's driving down the price of Intel stuff, so well done AMD. So what else? I'm trying to think what I was actually going to say now. I'm completely lost for what I was doing. Today's been a mad day. I've been trying to get my PC behind me to be as quiet as possible. So we had a really good start with the in-wing case, which is pretty heavy, so it's pretty silent. Put the in-wing fans in there, which is keeping it even quieter. Then I had a hard drive in there, an old-fashioned hard drive, which is probably still here somewhere. Do excuse me. So that was the old hard drive, a Seagate Barracuda, which is, I'm trying to see when it was made. Normally these used to have a date stamp on it, but I can't see. But that's because my eyes are rubbish. So I'll give you a close-up so maybe someone out there can see it if it focuses. It probably won't because the Lumix camera is notoriously rubbish at focusing. I'll get Kath to have a look. She's got better eyesight than me. But not for distance, only for close-up. Which is why she's still married to me, because from a distance I look okay.
It says date.
Thanks for that date, Maisie.
Date 13094.
04?
13094.
13094. So that could be the 13th of September 2004? No.
94.
They didn't make 2 terabyte drives then, did they?
DOM, is it?
Oh, DOM, that's date of manufacturer.
2012.
2012, so it was made in 2012. Don't drop. So this drive is 6 years old, so it's starting to make a lot of noise. There was a lot of mechanical noise, and for some reason in that case, I think it's probably because of on this shelf in the background, it just resonated really badly and it just drove me mad. I could just hear it. It's like I actually got really good hearing, so I could hear it in the background and it drove me absolutely bananas and I could hear it all the time. And when I was working, when there's no one in the house, and it's really quiet and all I can hear is kind of like the computer, it's so distracting behind you. So it had to go. So it was quite handy that this week, although, did I use that for that? No, I didn't use that for that. I used my Oracle Disk Caddy for that. My Oracle Disk Caddy, I love that Disk Caddy, it is fantastic. But this week I've actually received another one from Unitech, the Y3032, which is supposedly an uprated model based on the same kind of technology but slightly faster. So I've tried that today and I've taken some readings and it did seem actually quite quick. And it is essentially the same device, but just like I say, a newer chipset. So I managed to copy off there about 70 gigs of data in through Windows using a laptop, which isn't the quickest, I guess. And it took about, I think it was, how did I write? I did write it down. I think it was like 30 minutes to clone an entire drive, which actually isn't too bad. And it was saying it was getting Read speeds of 300 megabytes per second, and the write speed was 2.5 gigabits per second, or gigabytes per second? Gigabits per second. Whatever. Yeah, gigabits it must be, obviously. The other would be mad. So you get an idea. So about 60 gigs in about half an hour. So if you're looking to transfer some drives, these little docking stations are actually quite good. But I did use it in conjunction with the Macrium Reflect software, which is also pretty good. And someone's told me I should try using Ease US, which I used probably years and years ago, but I haven't used recently, so I might well have to give that a go, see what it is like. So yeah, that is much better now. That PC, apart from the sound of noise of literally air moving through, wish it was hair moving through, that would be really useful, because my head is getting slightly colder now, and being as it's the 21st of December yesterday, solstice, and yeah, winter is officially here. So my head is going to get colder and colder day by day, which I'm not looking forward to. This times like this, I am very envious of my associate and what I would call friend, Welsh Tony, who has a lot of head. He has a lot of hair on his head, and some of it has actually travelled south to his beard, so he is one hairy mofo. As I found out today in his first in front of camera video, so I advise you, if you haven't checked it out already, check out Welsh Tony 1's unboxing channel, and you can see what Tony actually looks like, and you can be very jealous of his full thick head of hair. There you go, Tony, there's a plug for you. So yeah, this week's been a weird one. What's the deal with the drone? The drone in the airport in the UK, closing down an entire the second biggest airport in our entire country, with millions and millions of people travelling through it, especially this time of year. And they say it's because of a drone. Now this story is the weirdest story. Now I like drones, don't get me wrong, drones are cool. I've got one there. It went missing during the week somehow, I don't know where it went, but I couldn't find it. So I think it may have been in London, because they've arrested 2 people today apparently. One guy who allegedly has been doing it, but he's a window fitter. So some guy who's a window fitter decides suddenly that he's going to cause mass disruption in London with his drone when he's got a kind of family, kids and all that sort of stuff, and he's a reasonably well-to-do businessman. What would possess him to do that? If I ever saw a conspiracy theory or a complete frame or fit-up, this week has been it. So something obviously happened in the airport, and then they decided, right, we better get a cover story. So someone then starts flying a drone around, and then, oh, look, we've arrested 2 people. This guy, if you see pictures of him in the news, he looks so innocent. It looks like he's a typical kind of, he's a man boy. He's into his radio controlled cars, his drones, he's a window fitter, he's a family guy or whatever. So why would he want to close down an international airport for a few days at Christmas? It doesn't make any sense at all. It's actually quite funny. And at the beginning of the story, there was actually reports that the pilot of one of the planes which started it off reported an unidentified flying object, which was, they said, was of a mechanical nature and very large. Now, drones to me aren't that large, and most airline pilots probably wouldn't be able to see one of those in the distance. It's a little bit smaller, or around about the same sort of size as a bird or a large bird. But the pilot said he saw something large. I think there's something going on there. Either someone's done something really stupid with a massive drone and now they're just trying to find someone to put it all on, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm really intrigued to hear what people in the outside world think. I'm kind of quite isolated, so I just see what's in the news. I don't really get to hear firsthand what people are thinking, so it'd be interesting to see what you people think. What else was I going to say this week? No, I haven't written up my videos this week. I've been a very bad unboxer. I haven't written up what I've been doing. Oh, transfers. Oh, have you ever sold things on Facebook groups or eBay and stuff like that? It is absolute joke. Now this is the story. Actually, you probably guys maybe remember, I did have a system I built, which was, I think it was a Ryzen 3 1200, and very recently I put a RX 480 in there, and it was a Rio Toro case and all that. It was a red and black build. It wasn't overly fantastic PC, but it was a nice little gaming PC. Ideal Christmas present for somebody. So I put it on a local Facebook group and on Facebook Marketplace at a little bit more than what it was really worth to me, or what I spent on it. So it was a fair price, but it wasn't like a steal. So a couple of people messaged me, "Oh, interested, is it still available?" All that kind of usual stuff. Yeah, you go through all the palaver. Yes, still available. Then they go through saying, has it got such and such, has it got this, so you answer all the questions. Now, one guy actually got in contact and he's, have you got the PC still? It's like, yes, still got the PC. Is there anything you want done to it? Any modifications? I thought I'd ask the question straight away, get it out there, get it out in the open, so we don't have to do all this pussyfooting around. It's like, basically, do you want it as it is, or do you want me to change it? I just put it straight out there. And he's like, well, actually, it's for a friend or a nephew or something. He only plays Rust. Now, I don't know if you've ever played Rust, and up until this week, I hadn't played Rust at all. I've never even seen it or got involved with it or anything like that, so I didn't know what it was about. So I quickly said to him, right, I'm not sure if it would be any good for Rust. I'll go and check out the specs and see if the PC is suitable, because I would hate for you to buy the PC for your nephew, and on Christmas Day, little Johnny unboxes it, puts in his favourite game, and it runs like a dog. And then there's tears and everyone's Christmas is ruined, and I get angry man on the telephone or outside the house with a PC. So I said, look, I'll find out what the specs are, see what it needs, and I'll check it out. I will install the game and I'll run it and I'll see how it plays. So fast forward a little bit. So I spend the next hour, hour and a half downloading the game, installing the game, then trying to work out how to play the damn thing. Played Rust for about an hour, hour and a half, and actually it ran really well. It was a really good game, getting sort of 70, 80 frames per second in most areas of it. So yeah, it ran really well. So the next day, guy messages, did you test out Rust? Is it okay? Is everything good? It's like, yeah, fantastic. The only thing I would say, maybe an extra 8 gigs of RAM would be good in the system, but again, it's entirely up to you. So then the bombshell. Now this is the bombshell. So bear in mind, this is on a Facebook group, which is kind of Bristol PC gaming parts, and I think it's in Marketplace and a few other local groups, but it does say where I am. And I don't think I actually put collection only, but kind of most people get the idea that most stuff on Facebook, if there isn't a postage price included, it generally means it's collection, or at least that would be one of the first things you'd ask if you weren't a local. So then comes the question, do you deliver? So at this point, do I deliver? So I'm thinking, well, I don't like to. I prefer for someone, if they're buying a PC from me, for them to come round, have a cup of tea, bring round their nephew or whoever's going to be using the PC, or if it's them, come in, sit down, have a play on the computer, have a cup of tea, have a chat, ask any questions, try any games they want to try, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean, to make sure that they're happy and they know what they've got, and they've not just bought a cardboard box full of carpet tiles or something. They know exactly what they're getting, they've played it, they've seen it running, so when they get it home and if something happens in transit, essentially it's on them. They've seen it working and everyone is happy. Money's transferred or cash has changed hands, everyone knows exactly where they stand, which is the way I like to work. I don't like all the kind of smoke and mirror stuff like, oh yeah, I'll put money in your account, can you leave it at my work's address, or not going down that route. So ideally, I prefer people to come round, and also it's quite good because you never know, it might actually make good footage for the channel. But anyway, so he pops the question, do you deliver? So I answer, no, I'd prefer, I can do, but I'd prefer for you to come and visit, blah, blah, blah. Where in Bristol are you? Is the bombshell I drop. So I'm going to grab my cup of tea a second, and I'll finish that story in a moment. So I've just realised I've been chatting for probably about half an hour, and I've bits are dry. I think I need a Mikesunboxing plastic water bottle. I would call it a sports bottle, but sports is probably not, not an accurate title for what I would need it for. Anyway, so my question, so his question, do you deliver? My question, maybe, where in Bristol are you? At which point he says, oh, I'm in South Wales. Now, for those of you that are not up on the geography of where I am in the UK and where South Wales is probably a good 50 miles away. So we're looking roughly about a 100-mile round trip, which for some people is, yeah, whatever. And at the moment the bridge is free, so there is no bridge toll, but you got things like expenses like fuel, and it's probably an hour there, an hour back. So that's 2 hours journey to deliver something to someone, which I would deem is a little excessive for a second-hand computer. I don't know what you think. I would, if it was to go into the post, yeah, you'd probably pay the same in postage as what you would in fuel, roughly, give or take, and take into account the time taken. It's probably cheaper to send it in the mail, but then chances of getting it the next day or whenever, especially this time of year, is not going to happen. So essentially, long story short, with no real actual ending, but I left it as that and I said, I can't help you, I'm sorry. I'm not going to deliver it to you. If you want to come and get it, you're more than welcome to. Or I can try and find if any of my sort of contacts or anything, if I've got anyone over in your neck of the woods, maybe they can help you out. Sadly, no one has been able to, so that has been kind of left for dead. But there was actually somebody else who was interested in the PC, who was also messaging me at the same time. So I'm kind of juggling between these two. Well, there was about 5 people altogether, but 2 of them were kind of like the strong contenders. And the other guy's like, oh yeah, it sounds great, it sounds great. Has it got lights? Yes. Has it got fans? Yes. Does it look cool? Well, yeah, you've seen the pictures on Facebook. That's why you contacted me. Did you think it looks cool? Some of the questions you get really do make my head itch. I'm kind of there. Did they just ask that? Really? It is bizarre. Some of the questions. One day I'll have to actually screen grab some of these questions and bring them up on so you can actually see them, because some of them are absolutely hilarious. Actually, one of them I did remember now. So I've put this PC on this Facebook group and I put it down as £50. I didn't put or near offer. Not £50, sorry, £500. So I didn't put or near offer. I don't think I did anyway. But even if I did, near offer. So you assume if you put a PC on for £500, you're probably looking to take 480, 475, maybe 450 at a push. So when someone asks you, oh, that's a nice PC, any chance you could do it for 300? You're like, right, okay. So I'm selling something on Facebook and I've put the price is £500. So £500 is like 5 lots of £100. So if you offer me 3 lots of £100, that's almost half of what I've asked for. So unless you're some kind of maniac or a chancer, realistically, no, is the answer, the short answer. Why would I go for nearly half price on a PC that I've built that I'm not wanting 500 quid for? If I wanted £300 for it, I would have put 350 or nearest offer, or 350 or make me an offer. Not £500, oh, why don't you phone me, well, why don't you message me and insult me to my face? Which is essentially what they're doing. Ridiculous. Anyway, so Facebook groups, I think, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure after this Christmas, and once I get rid of the stuff I don't want to get rid of, I'm not going to sell stuff anymore. I'm literally going to put it on there as free to collector. And just get rid of the lot. Rather than have the hassle. Although saying that, I think I put something on before, free of charge. Yeah, I put on some battery packs, some Microsoft branded phone backup batteries. And I put them on there free of charge for a power bank. And then someone's like, could you post it to me? It's like, really? I'm giving it away. What more do you want? Do you want me to come and plug it into your damn phone as well?
It didn't turn up for it.
Yeah. And then someone said, oh, I'll have one. Have you got any more? I said, well, I've got another power bank. I'll do you a deal. And he's like, yeah, I'll be over. And didn't bother collecting it. It's like, you can't give stuff away. I know it got Microsoft on it, but you can't give it away.
And you offer to mend any pieces.
Yeah, and yeah, this is, Kath just reminded me actually, this was a great one, right? I actually offered on a local Facebook group to repair anyone's computer for free. Yeah, I'd said it. I posted it. Anybody interested in a free computer repair? Now, what I was trying to do is get a computer that I could fix and basically make a video of it, which I thought would be interesting for people. Keeps me in the loop of repairs and what have you. And also, it's a nice thing to do for someone, to sort their PC out for them free of charge. Everyone's a winner. Do you know how many replies I got? None. Not a single reply. But if you said PC repairs, £50 per hour, you get loads of calls. It's just an insane world we live in. I don't understand it. I think people are kind of cautious, so if you're giving something away, they think there's a catch.
Or there's something wrong with it.
Or it's broken, or you're just trying to offload something. It's kind of like these free apps and stuff we get on App Store, in the iOS Store and all that kind of stuff, in Google Play, or even Windows Store. We've all done it, haven't we? Come on, we've all done it. We get your mobile phone, you want an app. So you type in spirit level, and you go to the spirit, there's like 1,000,001 spirit level apps. And you're like, well, how do I even know which one is a good one? So you go through, oh, this one's got 4.5 stars, must be pretty good. You scroll down, you look at it, ads supported. It's like, why not just charge for it? I'd rather something be either free or a pay for, not ad supported, because you know you're going to install it, you'll be just there, you'll be holding it, you'll be on a weird angle, trying to get something level, and then all of a sudden an ad will pop up offering you to play Clash of Clans or some crap like that. And you'll be like, oh no! And then you'll reach over to press the X button, and then you'll be out of level, so you have to go through the whole process again. First world problems, I admit, but it's just frustrating. The world has become an odd place. We don't trust things for free. Most free things are rubbish. Actually, most of the things you pay for are slightly rubbish, which brings me on to my Nokia headphones, which actually, they're not rubbish, but yeah, long story. I completely lost my track now. What was I saying, Kath? She's not there. Right, okay. I'm going to have a quick look and see if there's any questions I should be answering in the chat.
Yeah, the only video you've done this week.
I can't even see. I haven't got my laptop on the right page yet. Don't know what is going on.
The only video you've done this week is the summary of those Nokias.
Yeah, so this week's been a weird one. We haven't done so many videos this week, but we've been doing a lot of kind of behind the scenes kind of stuff. Now, we're not winding down for Christmas. As far as we're concerned, Christmas just doesn't exist. New Year doesn't exist, and we're just going to keep on pushing through as normal, making videos. So if you're bored, it's Christmas Day, you're sat around with a family, everyone's letting off gas because they've had too much turkey, get your mobile out, get your laptop out, get your new iPad or whatever it may be, Mikesunboxing, and you can watch the videos. There will be new content. Well, it might be recycled old stuff from the rest of the year, but it'll technically be new. So let's have a look on the pop-out chat.
Quite fun to watch it with subtitles for a change.
Ah, yeah, that's the point. If you have seen the videos before, but you are in one of those kind of situations where you're sat with the family and you're supposed to be kind of integrating, and James Bond is on in the background and everyone's kind of pretending to watch it, but really looking at their watches thinking, is it too early to go yet? What you want to do is get out your device, mute it, and put the subtitles on. Because subtitles for West Country or Bristol accents is hilarious. I watch it and I laugh. It's brilliant. Some of the things that I say that I haven't said is amazing. Just try it. Even do it now. Just click on the CC button in the bottom. And actually, that's a weird thing. People ask me, I do videos on no sounding calls for both iPhones and Android phones, okay? That's how probably some of you have found the channel, because you've got a phone that don't work. So I get people who'd watch the video And there's one I did a voiceover of. And I basically held the phone and said, da, da, da. And they're like, but what are you saying? It's like, well, press the bloody captions button. What do you think it's there for? That is subtitles. And they're like, can you put subtitles on your videos? Like, no. Click on the button, you lazy sod. What's the matter with you? Don't know. Possibly. Anyway, it's now I'm making a New Year's resolution early. There's a couple of things which I say or I've heard said, and they're starting to get into the populace, and I'm really struggling to block them out. So one of them is I digress. So I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm going to do my level best not to say it. Dang it. That loads of people are starting to say that now. I think it must be an American thing. I've noticed myself saying it a couple of times, and I'm really upset with myself, so I'm not going to say that anymore. And there was something else which I can't think what it was. But there's these kind of Americanisms which, and also YouTube isms, which are creeping into my head and my vocabulary, and it's really upsetting me. So I'm going to try really hard not to do that. So if you're watching my videos and there's some like really harsh cuts or really odd jump cuts, it's because I've violated myself and I've said these words out loud, so I've destroyed them from the edit. So keep a lookout for that, and if you notice any, feel free to put them in the timestamps of the video to say Mike said a bad word but edited it out. Okay, so let's have a look at some of these messages that we've received. Oh my days, there's lots of them. So who we got with a snipe? So Welsh Tony's in house. Hopefully you heard me mentioning your video a little bit earlier, which is a great job, well done. Long overdue, but you've been busy making babies and stuff, so it's understandable. 80s horror fan. Good evening, 80s horror fan. Watching in the background as the boxing is on. So, I get that quite a lot actually. People message me and saying, oh, what do you reckon of the boxing? Do you think Tyson's going to win? It's like, I don't know. I don't know who Tyson is, unless you mean Mike Tyson, in which case probably, because he's an animal. I think it means Tyson Fury, but if Tyson Fury was in front of me, I probably wouldn't recognise him. Although if he was in front of me, I probably would be quite scared, because he's probably a big guy. Is he black or white or what? I don't know. I don't even know what nationality he is. That's sad. I'm probably going to get lots of hate now. But I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. Welsh Tony, Ross. Oh yeah, Ross, 80s horror fan is Ross, isn't it? I get so confused. Now that is one thing which really, really bugs me about having a unboxing channel or any kind of YouTube channel or Twitter or any of that stuff, is you get companies contact you. Now, as you can probably appreciate, a lot of the stuff that we get is sent to us by companies who sell stuff on Amazon or Alibaba, or their own people like Nokis, those kind of people. And it's weird because you get an email from someone and it's like Chinese writing at 35954.com, and you're like, okay. So they write to you and they're like, hi, my name is John. I am seller from Amazon. It's like, yeah, I like your video very much. Okay, John, keep going. Would you consider work with us for many happy video? It's like, John, I got a really, really strong feeling that you're probably not called John. And then they send you another email saying, hi, this is Bob, from the same email address. And it's like, oh my God, this is so confusing. Can you please tell me your actual name? And they're like, I will Facebook message you or something. So they send you another message on Facebook and their name's like Marco. And you're like, oh my God. So then you get something come through the post like this, and then you try and send them a message to say, I've made the video, here's the link, check it out. And you're like, right, okay, so he was called John, who was then called Paul, then Rob, then Marco, but his real name's Xander. It's just so confusing. Why can't people just use their own names or like something which is the same all the way through? So confusing. First world problems, I know, but there you go. Kath's pointing at the phone. Not the phone.
It's no questions, it's just you're rambling.
No, I'm rambling, as she says. I'm sorry. H as far as... Is that the drone from Gatwick? Yes, it is. This is the Gatwick drone. Here we are. This is what caused all the problems over the weekend. So if you're a traveller, and I don't mean like a gypsy, I mean like an actual on a plane traveller. Yeah, this probably was the problem. I was flying it out in the back garden in Bristol, and a extreme gust of wind took it away, and I was left there just with a controller. And luckily one of the cats must have found it and has brought it in thinking it was a massive spider. So all's well that ends well, in my opinion. So nice to see the drone back, and nice to see that Gatwick is now finally reopened. Paul Donaldson, oh, what is going on now? You should hear my PC drives me insane, coil whine. Now, coil whine on graphics cards is, I believe, actually preventable, because it's a oscillation of the energy going through the coil. There is, I believe, some high temperature silicon you can put on there, on the actual coil, to prevent the whine. I'm sure I've seen a video, or I imagined it and thought I'd make the video. So maybe that's divine intervention, or maybe it's actually a real thing. But maybe you have to search it and find out.
Dream pub.
Yeah. Sorry?
In your dream pub.
Yeah. In my dream pub, I did the video on it.
And what is your dream pub called?
And 10 points to anybody who can remember what I called my dream pub. I will let you have a few moments to put that in the comments. It was Mike. Where did I get to? Coil wine, yes. Paul Donaldson. Mike, is it worth buying a mesh like Google Wi-Fi? Paul Donaldson, that is a great question, and good evening. That Nova, the MW3 AC 120,
200.
that thing has been absolutely spot on. And actually, this would be fun. You'll like this.
Down a bit and you can see.
What have I got to see?
Just
Oh, they've been talking about it already, have they?
a bit.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry. I didn't scroll down, so yeah, Kath said really pleased with it. But yeah, it is brilliant. Now, there is a great feature in those Wi-Fi mesh things, especially the tender one, which I put to the test the other day. So, Paul Donaldson, I'm not sure of your age or whatever, but do you have children?
He has a hamster
I know you have a hamster
called
called Dick? Willie? Kath's doing things that I can't work out. Peanut! She was doing a picture of a man truncheon.
Sounds like.
And she went, sounds like man truncheon. Anyway, so, oh dear. So in the Tender app, which you use to set it up, which I can't find, oh there it is, Tender Wi-Fi. So in the app, you can set up things like quality of service, all that kind of stuff, but you can also set up, what they call it, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, parental control, that was the one. So you go into parental control, and you can set up a user or a group of devices. So say for instance you've got a child, and just say for argument's sake their name is George, and say for instance George has a P20 Huawei phone, a PC and an iPad, which are all connected. You could, if you wanted to,
If he swore.
if he was using bad language, you could actually click on the pause button. Hopefully you can still see that. Kath's gonna have to let me know actually on here. And hopefully you can see that. But at the moment, I'll just click on the focusy thing.
Can I go in?
Yeah, go on. So I don't know if you can see that yet. Hopefully the phone hasn't gone to sleep.
No, it's okay. It has now.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry about that. There we go. I can see it. There we go. So there you can see there's George as a user, and oh crap.
You turned it off now.
Oh, it's because I just seen it turn off on the screen. There's a delay in there. So there you go. You can just make out there's a user on there called George, and I've associated his devices. So if he's a bad boy, I can click on the pause button, and that's it. His internet is off on all those devices. Do you need to redo that? Sorry. So that actually, and it works pretty much in, yeah, excuse me. I need a cough button. Yeah, so it works pretty much in real time. So just for a laugh, on I think it was Sunday, yeah, we were in the other room, and George was messing around, and he said a couple of offensive words, and he was literally sat next to me. So I just opened the app. I was like, pause, and a couple of seconds later, oh, he's like shaking his phone. As if like shaking it is going to make the internet go into it faster or better. Why do we do that? We all do that, don't we? If something doesn't work, like, oh, come on, work. Like that's going to do anything. But anyway, so he did that, and yeah, he was completely paused. So we left it paused and said, no, you're not going to have it back on until you learn to behave. So after about half an hour, he's like, can I have my internet back on now, please? And it's great. It's like, yeah, no problem. Internet back on. Power. I once actually had to go upstairs because he was getting so animated with on a CSGO map, and he was really getting quite vicious with his language. And we told him time and time again, like, you can't do that. He has got his own issues, so we don't go too hard on him, but we do try and instill some kind of level of parental guidance, I suppose you'd call it. But he wouldn't do it. So I went out there with a pair of scissors and literally cut through the internet cable that come out of the ceiling into his computer, which in hindsight was a stupid thing to do, because when he needed the internet back on to do his homework for school, who was going to have to put new cable in to the roof or make up a new cable to do it? Me, obviously. So by going out there and cutting the cable basically just made me a ton of work. And also because I cut the cable, it crossed over some of the circuits in the cable back to the switch, and it stopped the switch from working temporarily. So I had to go and reset the switch because everyone else's computers went. So it was like a cascade of things that went wrong, which, long story short, the Tender mesh system is great and it solves a lot of problems. And since we've put it in, hand on heart, wherever it is, try not to touch my microphone because that's bad for headphone users. No, which side is it? Left? Yeah, left. You can tell what kind of day I'm having. I can't remember which side my heart's on. Basically, it's in there somewhere. But what I'm trying to say is, hand on heart, the internet has been absolutely rock solid. And Kath will probably agree, actually, because your iPhone was murder, wasn't it? It wouldn't swap over signals for the different Wi-Fis we had in the house. But now, I don't think I've ever changed anything on my phone at all. Because I used to quite often go into another room and it's like, oh, no Wi-Fi, nobody on. You know, you swipe down, click on Wi-Fi, see which network's available, see what's on the strongest signal. I haven't done that for ages now, and it just works. And I haven't had to reboot it. I've had to unplug one, and literally that was to do B-roll shots for the actual video I did on it. So, yeah, mesh systems are brilliant. And the Tender one, because it's one of those things, you don't want to spend an absolute boatload of money on it, because it's like, do I, don't I? Are they going to be any good? So if you're in that boat and you don't need the Wi-Fi to be ridiculously fast, which the MW6 is like double the speed and has got the backhaul of 1 gigabit for wired use, definitely get some of those. At the moment they've got them on special at Amazon for I think the same price they did in Courage, so about £55–60. So get them on Amazon. If you do, use the referral links and the code below, that'd be great. But check them out. If you don't like them, you've got 30 days to send them back. So there's not really, well, you've got nothing to lose, especially this time of year. If it's Christmas and you've got a quiet day, you've got a day off work or something, set up your Wi-Fi at home and make everybody super happy, which that essentially is done. And at the moment, I will be doing an updated video on them, but I wanted to make sure that if there's any chinks in the armour, that I would find them out and report back on them. But I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and as of yet, I still haven't found a problem. It's perfect. Well, perfect's probably a strong word, but is near on perfect as I was. It's better than I expected, if I'm completely honest. And one good thing actually, if you're into home gadgets, technology, like our Wi-Fi lamps and all that kind of stuff, there is a section in there, which you probably can't see again, but there's a few sections in there where you can choose what to do. So one of them is fast roaming, which switches over the signals really quickly, which is brilliant for iPhones because they've got a bit of a problem with that. But the other bit is smart assistant. So you go into it and you click on it and it turns your Wi-Fi to 2.4 gigahertz for, I think it's 30 minutes. So devices like that need 2.4 gigahertz to set up can be set up really easily using that feature. So you don't have to go into your router, log into it, change it to 2.4 or disable to 5 gigahertz. It does it all for you. It's brilliant. So yeah, hopefully that's kind of a long-winded way of answering that, but yeah, they're awesome. Absolutely awesome. Right, sorry, let's go back to the questions if there is any. Probably isn't there. Well, Tony, there's some really large custom ones out there. Drones. Oh, drones, yes there is. Well, I assume there is. I've not seen any. Now actually, going back to the drones thing actually, because you put it in there, I'm gonna go back into it. So the drones, okay, now I don't know if everybody knows this, but drones basically work on GPS, and the GPS kind of works through the transmitter, and the transmitter is all kind of tied in to apps and stuff like that. So if you've got an iPhone or whatever it may be, it all kind of ties in together with software. So essentially the GPS gets loaded into the device via a map, etc, etc, and that map has got certain areas of the UK or wherever you are which are what they call red zones. So those are zones that if you take your drone to it, if you turn the drone on, it will not fly. It will not receive commands because it's in a red zone. So the GPS goes, oh, actually, yeah, I'm not allowed to fly here. It won't let you do it unless you've got specific permission from either, be it an airline or railroad or whoever it may be, Ministry of Defence, wherever you are. Sometimes even school playing fields and stuff like that have got designated red zones. So there's a lot of places actually that if you buy a drone, you can't just go out and fly it anywhere. You can hack the software, but then it does things odd to the GPS, so you lose things like stability and all that kind of stuff. But essentially, unless you're like a really good hacker or software engineer, it is actually quite difficult to fly a drone in one of those designated areas, be it a red area, an amber area, whatever it is. I think amber areas you can fly, but you have to have a code emailed to you, which you put into the software, which then unlocks that section of the map, which I guess kind of makes sense. So for this guy who's made a drone or has a drone or whatever, now bear in mind, he's probably flying this thing from anywhere up to, I don't know, half a mile away, maybe a mile away, maybe more, maybe have a remote transponder, and he's doing it flyby video sort of thing, you know, video feed from the drone, and he's using that to work out where he is. I don't know, maybe we'll find out. But it just seems like a really, really odd thing to do, especially bearing in mind who they've caught for doing it and how difficult it is to actually achieve what he's done, especially if he's not really, really local. Like most people, if they're flying a drone like that, they would want to be in line of sight, see what's going on, which, considering where they are in the middle of that airport, is super difficult to do. But anyway, I'm digressing again. Oh shit, I said it. Oh, and I said shit. Shit. Kath's going to stop my internet now. Oh dear. Sky Stalker's in the house. Hello, Sky Stalker. Good evening. Merry bloody Christmas to you. Look at my dog. Mike, did you fly drones over Gatwick? I cannot confirm or deny the rumours of that.
Skystalker's pilot.
Skystalker's a pilot?
Okay.
Holy actual balls. Look at my dog. Mike is going to show us how to get 12,000 V-Bucks for free. Yeah, I think to get that many free V-Bucks, you have to do the Carlton dance, but actually on your head. So, yeah, if you can do that and send us a video of it, then you get your 1,200 V-Bucks. Look at my dog. I'll have a free PC. Yeah, you could. I'd rather give you a free PC than be messed around by that jerk off. Oh, is that a bad thing to say? I take that back. Which isn't easy to do. Callum's in the house. Good evening, Callum. Actually, I don't know why I'm squinting. I should just change the text size, shouldn't I? I'm such an idiot. 150%. There we go. Now, oh, why do I always do that? Right, restore chat. And pop out chat. Talk amongst yourselves, so I won't be a second. Hey, look at that. Looky. I can actually see the text chat without squinting. That is a thing of beauty. Look at my dog. Can you tell Mike to read the comments again? What comment? I think it's in the middle. Oh God, hang on. Here we go. Mike has 999 ping. Oh, that sucks. Oh, I've gone right to the top, haven't I? I'm discombobulated. That sounds really bad. Tony has got... Oh my God, I've missed out loads of stuff here. I'm never going to have time to read all that. Facebook groups are for people that don't know. Oh, for the unwashed masses. Yeah, if you're trying to give people stuff away, people do assume it's a scam. It's a really weird thing. We've become so untrusting or distrustful. You know what I mean? We don't trust people, do we? We like to go on things on face value, but for some reason, if something looks too good to be true, it's generally because it has been in the past, and because your brain kind of learns from those kinds of things and remembers previous outcomes, that is your automatic assumption. So even if something is too good to be true, and it may be too good to be true, but it may actually be a good thing, but because your brain's used to it not being, you immediately put the kind of like, whoa, no, this looks bad, this is dodgy. Now, speaking of which, don't know if I should say that actually. That could start off an absolute shit fest. No, I'm not going to say that. I might do. I might come back to that. That's going to be one I'm going to hang up over here, because that's like the thermonuclear warhead button. So I'm just going to hang that there on my virtual rack, and if I think the time is right, I will press that button and we'll go down that rabbit hole. But for now, I'm going to bite my lip, which doesn't happen often, so it must be pretty bad. Hey, Kath? Right, okay, so, sorry, let's go on and see what else goes. I will pay for no ads. I am fed up. Maybe in the stage of my life, I can pay for things. Yeah, that's a good
place to be.
Not got the back. That's why Mike's ignoring us. Yeah, I was sorry, guys, people. Am I even allowed to say guys now in this politically correct world? Have I got to say like people or unboxettes? Yeah, you could be my boxettes. Like Roxette, but less spiky hair.
Like Roxettes.
Yeah.
And
You could be like brossettes, so you could be like boxettes, and you have to go and buy some bottles of Grolsch and take the tops off and put them on your shoes.
what does Lady Gaga's little ones? Little
Monsters.
Oh,
Maybe I'm old, using Edge browser, I can't find the CC button.
sorry, we've been there.
Oh, you've been there, have you? Okay. Oh yeah, because now that's a weird thing. You'd think that with the processing technology that Google has, they would be able to process live from what I'm saying into subtitles, because I would imagine that their translator software, which works on the human voice, translates from English to whatever language, or from whatever language to English, or whatever it may be. It does that essentially with very, very little lag. So because there is a delay in me talking now and it coming out on that screen, I would imagine they could probably put processing in there to allow subtitles or captions. But anyway. Dear John, Paul, Marco, Xander, whatever your name is, here is the video. Yes. Like my drone. Yeah, dear John, Paul, Marco, Xander, I'd like my drone back from Gatwick, please. Mike has a 999 ping. That almost sounds like a perverse thing. Only gets 4 FPS on stream. Wow. Do I have a really bad ping? It says here that my stream has got a green.
Yeah.
I've got a green health, and I'm currently streaming at, where are we? 48 frames per second, which is as close as I can get to 50, which is what the camera's running at. And the stream is roughly about 3.1, 3.5 megabytes per second coming out, or kilobits per second, so 3,000 kilobits per second. And I've only dropped 213 frames, which is 0.1% or less, which should be okay. So I don't know why you're struggling there, but hey ho. Oh, I hate it when I do that because I lose the text. Right, what else we got, Kath? Help me out. What other questions we got?
Tony says that the tender nova is now £80.
Tender nova is what? Actually, Paul Donaldson's just put in their box bitches. I don't know why, but I like it. This is, oh, the stream is good. They're just trolling me. You swines, I'm being trolled. Do you think I am, Mars Bar? Can't troll me. Facepalm. Okay, we're good. The ping joke was because how far behind chat you are. Ah, gotcha. I'm a bit slow. Very slow. Now, I remember what it was actually. There was 2 other things that I wanted to speak about. One of them is this whole kind of the copyright stuff with the actor who plays, oh my god, what's his name? Carlton from the Fresh Prince. Now, if you've ever played Fortnite, you're possibly aware there's the kind of dance moves that you can do. And those dance moves are generally based around other kind of pop culture dance moves. The one called Fresh is based on the Carlton dance from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. There is 2 other ones which I can think of. I can't remember the names of them, but again, based on very popular things. There is the floss dance, which has been made very, very kind of popular by the video that went massively viral. And apparently the floss dance has been copyrighted. The Carlton dance, although is associated with Carlton, it is associated with the character of Carlton, not the actor. So in theory, the individual actor shouldn't be able to sue the game manufacturer for using his likeness or his moves in a video, because his moves or that character are the intellectual property of ABC or whoever the studio is that actually made the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. CBS, I think it possibly was. So he's kind of jumped in on this bandwagon, or kind of skated in on the bandwagon, to this whole kind of thing where people are copyrighting moves or dance moves, which was a really difficult thing to do because someone's individual likeness is a really difficult thing to copyright, especially in Fortnite, because the games are essentially kind of cartoonized characters or even kind of borderline anime, so they don't really bear that much resemblance. So although they're doing the same dance moves, and I was watching a video earlier, somebody was discussing this, you think of some of the iconic dance moves of the last the last century, I suppose. There's been a lot of people that have done very spectacular dance moves. Michael Jackson, the moonwalk, What else is there? There's been quite a few. John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever, doing all that kind of stuff, which is massively iconic. But do they copyright their moves? And they've obviously been copied. There's not been many sort of sitcoms or rom-coms or comedies in general that haven't at some point emulated one of those dance moves or something along those lines. So I don't know. What do you think about it? I think that is his name Alberto, the guy who plays Carlton? I'm not sure what his name is. Someone will have to put it in the chat and let us know. But yeah, it's a weird thing that everyone's sort of coming out of the woodwork now because Fortnite is like the most popular or the most played game in the entire universe. Well, as far as we know, everyone's kind of wants a slice of the pie, taking a bit of the pie to get any angle they can. Which the floss dance thing, I kind of get, because he has copyrighted that move, so it is his kind of thing. You can copyright anything. If they let you copyright it, then that is yours, and you're well within your rights to protect that copyright. But Carlton, from a 1980s, 1990s comedy show, which is not really relevant anymore, it's a bit of a push too far. And being that he was playing a character, if it was his own dance and he brought it to the show for the character, then yeah, okay. But yeah, it's all a bit weird. I don't like it, and it sucks. Yes, actually, Paul Donaldson brings up a brilliant one: the David Brent dance or the Theresa May dance. Totally. If you did the David Brent dance, which hundreds of people have done as kind of reply videos to his original video, doing that within the TV series, and you think of the amount of people like on Mock the Week and 9 out of 10 Cats who have all done that dance to get laughs. Did Ricky Gervais sue each one of them for using his dance move? And that is a totally unique dance move. He should seriously think about copyrighting that. But then again, it's not his copyright, because whatever he did during the making of that show is copyrighted by, I guess, probably the BBC now, or the people who sold the programme to the BBC. I think it's Tiger Aspect or Take Two or something like that. But yeah, it's a weird situation. Ah dear. Right. Whoa! Someone's asked an actual technical question. That was Mohammed, which I would attempt the rest of your name, but I might make a balls up of it. Actually, is that Ashfaq Tumbi? Maybe. I think I actually got that right. I think I actually pronounced that right. I'm impressed. Oh, sorry, I'll answer the question, Kath said. So, RX 570 4GB or 1050 Ti for same price? That is a really, really good question. And there isn't actually, you'd think there'd be a straightforward answer for that, but there actually isn't. The 1050 Ti, in my opinion, isn't actually that good a card. And compared with the GTX 970, probably I'm trying to think of other cards. Basically, for the money, it isn't a great card. They're normally around about 120, 130 pounds in the UK. And the RX 570 4GB, actually, I've noticed them today, the Asus version, which is probably one of the better versions, at scan.co.uk for £139, which is actually a really good price. I would say that the 570 is the more powerful card by quite a margin, but the caveat being, if you're using your PC for video editing, or you are using a NVIDIA specific title, game-wise, that likes NVIDIA stuff, PhysX, HairFX, all those kinds of things that are, or some games are literally just better with NVIDIA. Things like Fortnite, I think, are quite optimized for Fortnite, that sort of thing. So if you are making use of the CUDA cores, like in video editing, or you have NVIDIA specific software, then I'd go with the 1050 Ti. Although I would be tempted to maybe not get a 1050 Ti and maybe go for a used 1060. A used 1060, even a 3 gig, would be much more powerful than a 1050 Ti and would probably serve you better for the future looking forward. Also, contrary to that, if you're then thinking of going for the used market, I would probably ditch both of them and for the same money probably get an RX 580 8 gig, which would smoke both of them. Or if you can stretch to it, a GTX 970 you could probably do quite easily. Or if you can find one, a GTX 980, which would blow all of them out of the water for probably about 140, 150 pounds at the moment. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. It's a really tricky thing. There's a lot of other variables as well, such as your case, your thermal limitations of the case you're using, your power supply connections, what you've actually got available, whether your motherboard supports sort of powered cards, that kind of thing. It's come to light recently that a lot of the custom Dell motherboards and some of the other custom motherboards actually will not allow you to boot a NVIDIA card over a certain wattage in the PCI Express slot without changing BIOS settings, which if you've had a card die and you're putting one in is an absolute pain. So you have to find an old card to get the machine to boot, to change the BIOS so you can take the card out to put your new card in. Wow, which is really difficult. So yeah, I agree with Skystalker in respect to his comment that the 570 would be a much better choice. Yes, it's a much powerful card, but again, for video editing and stuff like that, maybe you need the CUDA cores. Now that Premiere stopped supporting OpenGL or whatever it is that AMD cards have got. So yeah, that answers that. Now, what was the other thing? There was two things. So oh, my head. It's a good job I haven't got any hair, because otherwise I'll have nothing to grip onto right now.
It did make that nice slap.
Yeah, it makes a nice snap if you haven't got hair. What was I going to say? So we're at the Fortnite thing, copyright. There was something else. I really can't think about it. Oh, that's it. The new processors from AMD. The new 3000 series, which hopefully will be released or at least announced in CES in the new year. And what do you think of these new Athlon processors? Is it a 220 and a 240, or it's basically incremental jumps of the 200G or GE? Really confused. Yeah, GE. So it's the 2200G and the 200GE. So yeah, what do you think about that? Is it actually worth it, or are they just basically conning us when they could have just left the unlocked multiplier on the 200, which would easily overclock to the same speed as the 240, the 260, 270, whatever it may be? It's a very, very weird situation, and I don't like it. Anyway, I think that's pretty much all the questions and answers. Nothing else pops up on yours? No? Okay, so this actually probably shouldn't whack the table when I'm wearing a microphone. Probably not good for the microphone users, or headphone users rather. So that pretty much wraps it up. All it leaves is us to wish you all a happy holidays, Merry Christmas and all that kind of stuff from me, Kath, the cats and everyone else here at Mike's Unboxing. Hopefully you all have a peaceful, restful new year. We will probably be back on with another stream on the 28th, possibly the 29th. And we may super chat light bulb. Can they see that? How awesome is that? It actually works. Respect for that. Thank you, Skystalker, for your super chat. See, I knew it totally would work, and that is the Merry Christmas super chat right there with the Christmas lights. Sometimes it's a good day to be a YouTuber. It's not every day, but sometimes good things happen, and it is awesome. You want to see the ball. See, it works. That's a good one. Paul Donaldson says we should do a live one on New Year's Eve. What do you reckon, Kath?
I'm working.
Kath's working. What time are you working till? When's New Year's Eve? I can't even see what day it is. That'd be...
It might not be in the evening, actually.
How many days are there in this month? I haven't got a clue.
2 seconds.
Maybe we should do a live stream on New Year's Eve and get absolutely wrecked together. What do you reckon, everybody? Get absolutely annihilated.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve is Monday night. Yeah, that's...
I'm working days, but I'm working days the next day.
It's possible. It is very possible. It does sound like a plan. That would be pretty cool. See you in the new year with the
Unboxing crew.
with the unboxing crew.
Unboxing bitches.
The boxettes are in the house. Yeah, maybe we can definitely do that. But anyway, if I don't release another video in the meantime before Christmas, you guys and girls and everybody else, actually we're bound to release another video, aren't we? Because I've just filmed one today, which will be uploaded and hopefully done tomorrow, possibly. So you'll be seeing more of me in the next couple of days. But anyway, I'm going on far too much. I'm not going to say the D word, but happy Christmas, and we will catch you all in the very next video. See you soon. Good night.